Hello friends, welcome you all to another video, and today we are going to cover the two types of novel. First is the stream of consciousness and science fiction in this lecture, because this lecture I am going to make in the parts. So another second part that will cover the gothic and graphic novel in tomorrow's lecture. So today we are going to deal with the stream of consciousness and science fiction. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So what is the stream of consciousness? I think you must have heard about the stream. What is stream? Stream means wave. Okay, and of consciousness. Consciousness means, what is consciousness? Yes, Jagrut Avastha. So stream of consciousness. This is not a wap of your Jagrut Avastha. Okay, but actually it is the unbroken flow of your thoughts. You know that you every time we think in our mind, every time we can't stop thinking in our mind. You can't stop your mind for a second, for a moment also. So you know that a thinking process is going on, and therefore it is become the stream of consciousness. And this technique was used by so many writers to write novels and short stories. So let's start with it. So it was a phrase used by William James in his book Principle of Psychology, and that book was published in 1819. So he has used it to describe the unbroken flow of perception. Unbroken flow, प्रवाह, unbroken, कधी न तुटणारा, flow of perception. We have a five senses, and through that five senses, which are the five senses? Eye, okay, tongue, nose, ear and skin. These are our five senses, and through it we can understand the objects of the world. या जगातील जे काय वस्तू म्हणजे पदार्थ आहेत त्या गोष्टीचं आपल्याला लक्षात येतं की गोष्ट काय. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आवाजाने आपल्याला लक्षात येतं की हा आवाज कोणत्या पक्षाचा आहे किंवा कोणत्या व्यक्तीचा आहे, कोणत्या प्राण्याचा आहे, कोणत्या गाडीचा आहे. ओके, लाईक दॅट. ओके, through the eyes you can see the object, whether it is a tree, it is a house, it is an animal, bird, butterfly, whatever, insect, whatever. Okay, so it is called as a perception. Memories, you know that I have already told you that our mind is has a thinking process, and you know that in through thinking process we just recall the memories. Okay, thoughts and feelings in the waking mind. जागृत अवस्थेमधलं जे मन असतं, म्हणजे आता तुम्ही जागे आहात, झोपलेले नाही आहात, झोपल्यानंतर हे देखील हे चालूच असतं. ओके, बट ऑल दीज थिंग्स इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. सो इट हॅज सिन्स बीन अडॉप्टेड टू डिस्क्राइब अ नरेटिव्ह मेथड in modes of fiction. Example, James Joyce has written one book, one novel, Ulysses, which was published in 1922, and it is based on Dublin. Dublin is a capital city of Ireland. So where is Ireland? Ireland is near to United Kingdom. Okay, it is near to Scotland, England. Okay, basically you understood it. So Ireland, and it deals with the Ulysses. It actually the main protagonist, and he think, okay, because the Irish people were celebrating their Irish Day, and he was at the tower, the hero Ulysses, and he was thinking, and through his thinking we came to know about the story, other characters and events, setting of the novel. The second novelist is Virginia Woolf, and she has written Mr. Dowey, which was written and published in 1925, and my favorite novel, that is The Two Lighthouse, which was published in 1927. So what is the basic story of the lighthouse? So it is a basic story of lighthouse. It was set in Scotland. Okay, Edinburgh, it is the capital city of Scotland. Scotland is a part of it, the kingdom of United Kingdom of Great Britain. Okay, so Edinburgh, it is the north, and actually there is one family, that is a Mr. Ramsay, his wife Mr. Ramsay. They have 4 children, and they have some guests also, one student also, and they wanted to go to the lighthouse. Okay, what is the lighthouse? Actually the lighthouse, if you go to Goa, गोव्याला गेला तर तिथे किल्ला आहे बघा, कंडोलियम का याचं काय ते नाव आहे बघा, त्या किल्ल्याची ते बघा लाईट हाऊस आहे. म्हणजे आधी जे व्यापारी जहाज आहे, जे त्यांना व्यवस्थित दिशा दाखवण्यासाठी आणि इथे बंदर आहे हे दर्शवण्यासाठी लाईट हाऊस असायचं. तुम्ही गोव्याला जर त्या जो किल्ला आहे तो बघा, आपलं जे बीच आहे कलंगूट बीच त्या ठिकाणी तो त्या बीचच्या तिथेच तो किल्ला आहे बघा कुठेतरी. तर तो त्या ठिकाणी ते लाईट हाऊस आहे बघा. So they wanted to visit the lighthouse, but because of the weather was not clear, and therefore they have not able to visit the lighthouse. It was in the part 1. So second part was the time passes in that novel, and there Mr. Ramsay died. Okay, so many one daughter also died. Okay, so many changes occur in the very fast um, period of time in the second part of the to the lighthouse novel, that is time passes, and the last one is the lighthouse. Okay, first part is to the lighthouse, second part is the time passes, and the third part is the lighthouse. In that way, the small child, small son of Mr. and Mr. Ramsay, it became younger now, okay, 18 years old, and therefore his father decided to carry him to the lighthouse. That is the story of this. It is a very beautiful novel, and everything we came to know about the first part is in the thinking of the Mr. Ramsay. We came to know about all the characters. Okay, the second part also we came to know about the writer's thinking, and the third part it was actually, I have forgotten the character name of that girl who is a student of Mr. Ramsay, and she gives us all the details. And even though when the younger son of Mr. Ramsay and Mr. Ramsay reached to the lighthouse, here she painted the painting of Mr. portrait of Mr. Ramsay, and here the novel ends. Okay, so let's go to the last part of this lecture, that is the science fiction. So what is science fiction? So science fiction, it basically it is related with the scientific experiments which we have seen, and again the lot of movies, lot of Hollywood movies. Okay, you can see for example Avengers, okay, Avenger Infinity War, Avenger Endgame, you must have seen, watched these movies and other kind of movies. Okay, so these are called as a science fiction movies, or we can say Fantastic Four movies or X-Men movies. So these movies are actually known as a science fiction movies. So let's start with it. So it is a genre of speculative fiction that has been called the literature of ideas. Okay, literature of ideas, ideas astat, kalpana. So it deals with imaginative and futurist concept, such as advanced science and technology. In the advanced science and technology, you can see that Avatar movie. Okay, so Avatar movie was very popular when it was first released in 2009, I think, and it was very huge popular, and it has made a great world record of earning, and it was recently, after 10 years, it was overtaken by the movie Avenger Endgame. Okay, so that was the movie. And in India also there are Krish, okay, Koi Mil Gaya, okay, not Koi Mil Gaya, but Krish movie is Krish 3 is a part of science fiction. So there are so many Indian movies also which are also called as a science fiction, or which is based on science and technology. Then next one is the time travel. If you watch the Akshay Kumar's movie, okay, that is the where Aishwarya Rai Bachchan is also there, Akshay Kumar is there, and their son, that is a new hero who with the help of time machine he traveled back, because Akshay Kumar and, okay, I'm not getting the name of that movie also, okay, and he goes back and he just ignited love between Akshay Kumar and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. So in that movie, but in the time travel is also the concept which you have seen in, if you watched Avenger Endgame, so where you can also have the time travel concept. And if you are a fan of X-Men movies, so in the X-Men the future past movie, so in the future past movie also time travel is there. Again, if you watched Harry Potter movie, so Harry Potter and the prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter or Azkaban ka Kaidi, so there is also time machine. Okay, so time traveling is there. So such kind of movies are there, and you know that the novel also and short stories also written on that. So parallel universe means, you know, that Earth there is a life, but apart from Earth there are maybe a lot of planets are there, and maybe life is there, and maybe those people are more advanced in science and technology than we human being. And these kind of things we have seen in the Avenger movies or MCU movies or Superman movies. Okay, so in such kind of movies we can see that, or for example Galaxy of Guardians of Galaxy movie. Okay, so MCU movies or the Spider-Man movies. So all these movies we can see the parallel universe. Okay, maybe the fictional worlds also there. Okay, space exploration, okay, for extraterrestrial life, okay, extra life on the planets. So all these are the concept, and you can see all these things we can see in the Avenger movies, Avenger Infinity War and Avenger Endgame. All these concept which you can see on the your screen. So all this concept which was used in these novels. Okay, so it often explores the potential consequences of scientific invention, and there is examples of Mary Shelley. She has written a very famous novel. I like this novel. I will give you a very brief summary, plot summary of this novel, but I'm not going to give you the summary of The Last Man and The Time Machine and The War of the World. You can search the summaries to the Google, and actually it is not useful for your examination point of view, and therefore uh,
I'm sorry. You can try sending feedback.
sorry for interrupt. Now let's start with the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which was published in 1818. So in the Frankenstein, this story is about a gifted scientist, Victor Frankenstein, who succeeded in giving life to a being of his own creation. However, this is not the perfect specimen he imagined that it will be, but rather a hideous creature who is rejected by Victor and mankind in general, and the monster born out of that scientific research, and that monster seeks its revenge through murder and terror, and that was a very dangerous novel which was written by Mary Shelley, and Mary Shelley was the wife of a famous poet, that is P.B. Shelley. Okay, so that was the thing. Then she has also written another scientific fiction, that scientific novel, that is The Last Man, which was published in 1826. H.G. Wells has written the Time Machine novel, which was published in 1895, and you can see that one is the southern movie, name is The Time Story, and Surya is actually the Telugu superstar who is a hero in there. He is also villain. He is also played his father role in that time machine, and we can see that the time machine, how they can travel back in that movie. So such kind of a story is there in this H.G. Wells novel, The Time Machine, and he has written another scientific movie, that is The War of the World, which was published in 1898. So hey guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture.